Good morning. So I am at, it's really early in the morning. It is still super dark outside, so I apologize for like the weird lighting. I'm parked right underneath like a street light because I was trying to get some light in, but it is almost 7 and it's still pitch black, which is, I didn't think it stayed dark this long, but I also haven't had to like really wake up this early in quite some time, or like be out anyways at this time. So this is my first Weight Watchers meeting, and I just wanted to be sure to jump on camera and like document this moment, because I have started and stopped Weight Watchers in the past, but I was truly not mentally and emotionally ready. Let's see, I've got about 15 minutes, so I've got plenty of time to give you my little spiel, but I have struggled with depression for really the past 6 years or so. I had really bad postpartum depression after having my first daughter, Madeline, and I didn't get help for it. And then eventually I did start getting help, but I wasn't like consistent with it. After Julia, I had a little bit of more like baby blues, I would say. I don't think it was full on postpartum depression, but now that Julia is a year old, I feel, and I don't know what it is about that, by the way, it's just like a weird mental thing, because you can start this journey at any time. I just felt like I wasn't mentally like strong enough, I guess you could say, to take on this journey any sooner than like now. Now I feel really ready, and I know I'm using January 1st as like my excuse, or like to be motivated or whatever. It's a fresh start, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Whatever is gonna motivate you and help you, like give you that push to get started, I think is what you should do. So I have not weighed myself in quite some time. I have no idea what to expect here, but I'm just going to see the number. I'll share it with you guys. I'm gonna be totally transparent and honest. During this journey, I'll let you guys know this is my heaviest weight that I've ever been at in my entire life. And before I had kids, I was very active. I worked out a lot. I would say my relationship with food was a lot healthier. I self-medicated with food when I was depressed. I would turn to food for comfort, and that has led to me gaining over 100 pounds since I first started having children. So, and then in particular, in these last like 2 years or so is when I think I've put on most of my weight. So I remember after having Maddie and stuff, I still felt like I was overweight, and looking back, I'm like, no, you weren't. Isn't it funny how that happens? But I'm at the point now where I barely have clothes to wear because hardly any fit me. And it's just, I don't feel good. Everything's uncomfortable. I can't put on socks easily. You know, it's just the reality of being very overweight. So for me, it's not necessarily about looks at all. And it's coming from a place of love for myself, which that is different, because before, anytime I've wanted to lose weight, it was coming from a place of like self-loathing, and it was coming from a place of like, I don't like the way I look. And now it's so much more than that. It's, you know, being able to keep up with my kids and being able to just enjoy life and be confident and to feel good. You know, I feel tired a lot and everything like that. So that's the big piece of it, is just wanting to feel good and wanting my outside to now reflect my inside, because inside I've done a lot of work on myself to get myself to the point where I've been able to overcome depression. I know it's something I'm gonna struggle with my whole life. There's a lot of, you know, depression and anxiety that runs in my family. So it's something I know I'm going to have to deal with the rest of my life. And sorry that I'm like shivering. It's so cold, and my car heater will not heat up. I've been driving for 20 minutes and it won't heat up. But yeah, I know it's something I'm gonna have to struggle with on and off here and there, but I've done a lot of work to overcome that and to get to a place where I can say that I have respect for myself and I care about myself and I want the best for myself. So, and I want the best for my family. I want them to have a healthy, vibrant wife and mom who's gonna be around. So, so yeah, that's my spiel, that's my story. I'm gonna go into the meeting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, but it starts in 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna go in. I'm on the online plan right now and I don't know how this will work. I think you can pay just for going to the meetings, but I'm gonna have to ask them how I can sign up for both the meetings and the online. And I actually, this is earlier than I was supposed to go. If you guys have seen my previous like plan with me, I don't know when this video is gonna go up, but the meeting that I had planned on going to was at 8:30. This is at 7, and it's because they are doing limited spots because of COVID. So I had no idea that I was supposed to like RSVP in advance, and so I need to make sure today that I RSVP for the meeting that is closer to us, because this was 20 minutes away. The other one is like 5 to 10 minutes away. So, but I was dedicated. I was like, there's no way I'm going to miss this. I need to go to my first Weight Watchers meeting. So here I am. I wanted to, you know, like I said, document this whole moment. Again, I'm sorry for like the awful lighting, and it's early morning, so I haven't put any makeup on. I've been breaking out like crazy, but you know, keeping it real. Keeping it real, you guys. So anyways, that is it. I will check in after the meeting. Wish me luck. Okay, so I just got out of my meeting and it went really, really well. They were so sweet in there. So I need to call customer service and get my like plan switched over, but they let me stay for a courtesy meeting, which was really nice. They talked a lot about like intention, and that's something that I really need to work on, so I'm not making like, you know, quick decisions and things like that. And it's so funny because intention's kind of like our word for the year, if you will. So so yeah, that's what we talked about, and I did get my starting weight. So here's the number, if you guys can see. I don't know if it's gonna focus. So 256.2. I weigh 256 pounds, 256.2 pounds. So that's where we're starting. And my plan is to share a monthly like wellness check-in with you guys, just to give you an update. I don't know if I'm gonna film every single meeting that I go to, but I at least wanted to film the first one. So we set goals during the meeting, and I know my goal is to meal plan and meal prep. So I want to make sure that we have a really, sorry, I'm like shivering. Oh, it's cold. I want to make sure we have a very detailed meal plan and that we have everything we need on hand and everything like that. So we'll probably do some grocery shopping tomorrow, but I know when I get home, Andrew and I are probably going to work together to create a meal plan, and I'm gonna use the meal planner that I got from Skinny Taste, so I'm really excited about that. So that's how the first meeting went. It went really well. I'm gonna definitely see if I can reserve a spot for myself at the studio that's a bit closer, because this is definitely pretty far. Well, not super far, it's like 20 minutes, but still. The time of it, I guess the time of it's fine too, but I don't know. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this little check-in, if you will, my first Weight Watchers meeting. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be sharing next, but one note I did want to make too is, if I haven't already, in my day in the life, I plan to start showing what I'm eating in a day too. So I'm just gonna kind of incorporate the two. So I don't know if I've done that already by the time you guys are watching this, but just wanted to put that out there as well. So I'll check in with you guys here again soon. Okay, here we are at meeting number 2, weigh-in number 2. So this past week was my first full week on Weight Watchers, or WW, and I feel like it went really, really well. I think it was a really strong week. I kind of proved to myself that I am definitely mentally ready for this, because despite a couple moments of like stress and things like that that went on this week, I chose to not emotionally eat, and I would kind of tell myself, you know, if you eat this, it's just gonna make you feel worse, and the best thing you can do right now to get through this is to take really great care of yourself. And that means eating well, not eating junk, sticking to the plan, and that's what I did. And I think it's gonna pay off. We'll see what my weigh-in says and everything, but it definitely went really well. I tracked everything I ate this whole week, and I had 5 blue dot days. And blue dot days essentially means that you're sticking within like a certain eating range. And I apologize for the lighting, by the way. I'm parked under a street light, and then I've got my car light on. I'm trying to make this like it's dark outside. So I'm at another 7 o'clock meeting. It's at a closer location though, so that is nice. It only took me like 10 minutes to get here, which is awesome. So yeah, so a healthy eating range, by the way, I feel like I didn't finish that thought, is when you're only a certain amount of points under or over your points. And then I did officially switch my plan to the like studio plus online plan, or workshop plus online plan, where you can like go in and weigh in person. And I think that's honestly the best thing for me, because it's extra accountability, and I'm excited to just be around people, which is a little bit unlike me. Like, I love people. I love like being around people, but for the most part, I'm a homebody and I'm pretty introverted, to be honest with you. But I just find myself like really wanting to connect with other people who have big weight loss goals and are on this like same journey as me. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be doing Weight Watchers. You know, I think you have to do what works best for you, but meeting people in person, I think I have a better opportunity to do that. So that is the update. I will go inside and weigh in and attend my meeting, and then I will let you guys know how much weight I lost this first week. And that's one thing I wanted to touch on real quick too before I head in, is I'm trying to not get too attached to the scale, because even if the scale said that I've lost like a minuscule amount of weight, a tiny amount, and I expect to lose, I expect to lose larger amounts of weight in the beginning. I think that's pretty normal. In the beginning you see like those larger numbers, but even if the scale said that I've lost like 0.2 pounds, or I didn't lose anything, you know, I know that I've done really well this week, and I've still had some wins, you know, lots of wins actually. Like tracking all of my food is a win. Not having any fast food is a win. Not giving in to those cravings for things when I was feeling like emotional or down or stressed or whatever is a win. So I'm trying to focus on those things as well, and trying to like just keep it all into, you know, perspective and everything like that. So so I just wanted to mention that real quick, because I'm trying to not put everything on the scale, like let the scale be my only measurement of success, if you will. So I am going to head inside and weigh in, and I'll check back in with you guys afterwards. Oh my goodness, this lighting is so crazy, but the sun's coming up and I'm just parked in a weird spot, I guess. But I just got out of my meeting. It was great. They talked a lot about needing to tame the clutter in your life and kind of just being more organized and prepared. So like obviously meal prep and things like that helps your week go more smoothly. Having your fridge and your pantry like organized helps a ton. But then we talked about other spaces in your house too, and like how having a mess in those spaces can make you feel like stressed or anxious. And I completely relate to that because my office has been such a disaster, as well as our master bedroom. So this weekend we're gonna tackle both of those rooms and hopefully get them under control and good to go. But I got my weigh-in results and I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully you can see if it'll focus. So 4.8 pounds, woot woot. Almost 5 pounds in my first week. So, you know, and I do know that I'm gonna see those larger losses in the beginning and that it's gonna eventually tame out, but I'm still very excited that I've lost almost 5 pounds. And the big thing is that I feel better in the sense that like I feel more in control and I feel just more aware and everything, especially with my emotions and stuff. I've talked about this multiple times and maybe even in this video, I already don't remember what I've already talked about, but you know, I'm an emotional eater. I eat my feelings, and so it requires like a very big sense of like self-awareness to keep that in check. Like, oh, okay, I am stressed out. Here are my options to help me feel less stressed. I can go through a drive-through and get a burger. My go-to was Jack in the Box. I would get a burger and curly fries. And most of the time, if I'm being super honest, I would get a slice of cheesecake because I was like a sugar monster. I just wanted sugar. And I'd get a soda, like awful, awful, awful. And not once, not one of those times that I ate that meal did I feel better afterwards. Not once. I always felt worse. So it would just kind of temporarily soothe me, I guess you could say. And then it'd be gone and I'd feel awful, and most of the time I would kind of sneak out to go, you know, get this food. And that's something I want to talk about more eventually too, is just how that created like this distrust in my marriage. And I'm just being like super, super honest with you guys. Like, it's uncomfortable talking about it right now even, but I feel like I need to be just like very transparent and honest during this journey, because I feel like that's how we connect and that's how we relate to each other. And if you struggle with those things, I just want you to know that you are not alone. You know, I would tell my husband, oh, I'm gonna go run this errand, and then I would go through a drive-through and I would just eat awful food. And, you know, it's something that I'm trying to work on, and I've gone a whole week without going to a fast food restaurant. That's why even though I could make fast food fit into my points, I don't think it's something I'm going to mess with for quite some time, just because it could be a trigger for me and that's a slippery slope. And so I just kind of want to avoid it. What I've been trying to do is just replicate my favorite fast food meals at home. So for example, I love Big Macs from McDonald's. Like, that was my go-to for McDonald's. I'd get a Big Mac. And I've discovered that if you get just like a veggie burger and, you know, a whole wheat bun and a thin slice of cheese, put some lettuce, some pickle, onion, and then a little bit of like Thousand Island dressing, it's way lower in points, first of all. And then second of all, it's way better for you and you get more nutrients from it, and you know what's in your burger. I can look at the ingredients on the veggie burger. I try to get, in general, my family's always been this way. When we are getting, you know, foods and stuff like that, we always look at the ingredients list and we try to get stuff with like as little chemicals in it as possible. So again, I apologize for the lighting. I feel like I look like a ghost right now, but the sun's just coming up. And so, but yeah, so that was a good workshop, because that was a good reminder that this weekend I need to get those rooms organized. I would say our pantry is pretty organized. We want to install one of those little wire rack things to help organize it just a little bit more. And then our fridge is pretty good. The one thing with our fridge though is that it is small. Our fridge is tiny. Man, this lighting, I don't even know where to even try to, I guess that's a little bit better. But anyway, so our fridge is in pretty good shape. I'm almost done anyway. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna call my grandma and see if she's at home, because my new iPad Air, my goodness, you guys, I'm sorry. My iPad Air got delivered there, so I need to go pick it up, and then I'm gonna head to my hair appointment. Finally getting this haircut, so excited. So that is it for this week. I'm probably gonna have, I think, one more weigh-in. Will I have one more weigh-in before I post my monthly wellness check-in? Let me see. Yeah, I will. Okay, so I'll have one more weigh-in before I post my monthly wellness check-in, which will be on the 20th is when you guys should see all of this footage. So I'm gonna go, because this lighting's so awful, but I will see you guys next week. We'll see how this second week goes. Okay, so here we are for my third weigh-in. I had my first initial one. I had my one last week where I lost 4.8 pounds, and then this is my third one. So now I need to double check. I think I lost 4.8 pounds. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous about this weigh-in because, and I talked about this in like a couple of my previous videos, like my day in the lives and plan with me, is I've sort of mentioned this a little bit, but last, like this like full second week that I was on the plan, on weigh-in day, I splurged and I used all of my weekly points and then some. And that was kind of like, that was kind of what I was like thinking would be a good idea, is like on weigh-in day, that's the day I have my splurge meal and that sort of thing, and I use all my weekly points. But for me, mindset is so huge, and like what's going on upstairs, if you will, is so huge. So it was like a mental trick of some sort that I kept looking at my app and seeing that I was negative in weekly points, and it affected my motivation and it kind of discouraged me a little bit. So I'm rethinking that, and I'm sort of thinking that what might work well for me is to just split up my weekly points throughout the week as I need them. And if I decide to have some sort of splurge meal, you know, earlier in the day, make sure that I'm having 0 point meals, which is really easy to do, honestly, on WW Purple, because there are so many 0 point foods available to you. So I'm a little nervous about this weigh-in because I have a feeling that I either haven't lost anything or I've even maybe gained a little. So we'll have to see, but I'm trying to not just use the scale as like a measurement of my success. I know one thing is that I didn't go completely bonkers. After having my like splurge meal on Saturday, I still stuck to my plan. I still tracked everything. I found that I was hungrier on some days, and that's where those weekly points come into play for me. Like there's some days that I hardly eat anything because I'm truly just not very hungry. And then there's other days that like I want that extra snack at night, or I want a larger lunch or whatever it may be, because I just feel hungrier. And so on the days I felt hungrier, one thing I should have done is I should have just stuck to 0 point foods, but I'm such a habitual person that I've been having this like same snack of Honey Nut Cheerios and Goldfish at night. And I need to not have that snack anymore because I feel like it's really high in points, and there's not much that it does for me. Like it doesn't fill me up or anything like that. It's more of like one of those mindless snacks is what it is. So, and sorry for the lighting. It's not even 7 yet. My meeting's at 7 and it's still dark. The sun's starting to come up right now, but yeah, so I know I need to give myself grace during this time period because I'm still kind of experimenting and figuring out, you know, what works and everything. But I definitely think, I know for some people they use all their weekly points in one day, or they have a day where they just don't track anything. I did think about that too. I was like, well, should I just not track anything? if I have my splurge meal on Saturday. The problem with that is that I would look at my app and feel like, okay, that's not actually accurate. You know, like I don't actually have these weekly points and I don't want to be tempted to use them. So, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different WW accounts I follow and everyone does different things. And that's the thing. It's like, there is no best way. There's just a best way for you as an individual. And I think for me, splitting up my weekly points throughout the week, using them as I need them might be the way to go. And we eat out every Saturday, but I don't have to, that doesn't mean that I have to, you know, pick things. Like I don't have to deprive myself, but I also don't have to pick things that are insane high end points and things like that. Like any restaurant that you go to is going to have low point options. And so that's what I need to do, is I just need to find, like, figure out what those options are and stick with that. And so, and then I've also discovered that fasting in the morning and waiting to have my breakfast, gives me better energy throughout the day, but it also helps a lot with points because, you know, I'm having 2 meals a day and a snack typically instead of 3 like actual meals a day. And so that helps quite a bit with like the snacking, and I can kind of choose like, okay, do I want to start my day with like a traditional breakfast type of meal, or do I want to start my day with like a turkey sandwich or something like that? And I know like if I start my day with my veggie egg scramble, that's a 0 point meal. So that would be a great breakfast to have on Saturdays when we eat out, because I could have like a little snack before we eat out, and then, you know, I would have a good amount of points left for eating out. And I wanted to look and see for the blue dot days. I'm gonna have to head in here just a second, but I want to make sure I'm like, you know, kind of sticking to the blue dot days. And I don't know if it tells you somewhere, like, what is a blue dot day? Is there any info on that? Like how many points you can have, more resources? I'm just gonna Google blue dot days, WW purple. Okay, it says, what is the healthy eating zone? Okay. What is the healthy eating zone? What are blue dot days for? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, on purple, it would be 8 over or 11 under. So 28 points is the most that I could have in a day to have a blue dot day, and then 9 points currently. I know my daily allotment is gonna go down as I lose weight, but right now I get 20 points a day. So I can go as high as 28 points and as low as 9 points for the day. And then I would have rollovers and things like that. So yeah, so that's, I think, gonna be the plan going into week 3, is I'm going to stick with having 2 meals a day and a snack. I usually like to actually have my snack, I feel like my hair is doing like weird things right now, but I usually have my snack at night. I usually like to have it like as I'm working on stuff for my business. So, or if like Andrew and I are watching a show or something, I'll like want a little bit of popcorn or something like that. Which actually I think popcorn, certain types of popcorn, is 0 points on WW Purple. I totally forgot about that. So that might be a good option, like maybe some popcorn and some fruit or something just for the sweet and salty. Yeah, that could work. That could work pretty well. So that'll be the plan going into week 3. stick with what works. You know, I know that doing the 2 meals and a snack works for me. It gives me better energy and everything. And then also not using all my weekly points on weigh-in day and just using them as I need them. So if I feel like it's a day where I need to eat a little bit more and I end up going over by 8 points, that's okay. And I'll still have my blue dot day. And then I would say too, like, be okay not having a blue dot day on Saturday. At first I was thinking the whole weekend, but then that doesn't leave me much for the actual week because my weigh-in day is Saturday, so that's when all my points reset. So I'm kind of thinking if we eat out, be okay having, you know, not having a blue dot day on Saturday, but then Sunday through Friday, those should all be blue dot days so that, you know, I'm spreading my weekly points out pretty well. I'm also gonna start working out here soon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then actually Saturdays are family gym days, and then Sundays I'm gonna start going to a yoga class. Now that I'm like caught up on my business and stuff, I really need to start working on getting into a good morning routine. I've been staying up late to work on my business and then working on the weekends to like kind of get ahead and catch up and stuff, but I really need to start going to bed on time, waking up. I want to go to bed by 10 and get up by 5:30. So that way I can go to the gym first thing in the morning and then be home in time to walk my oldest daughter to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on those days, Tuesdays and Thursdays when I work out, those might be days where, you know, I'm probably gonna wanna eat something pretty soon after I get home from the gym because I haven't actually gone to the gym and worked out in quite some time, but I just know myself and I know on days I work out, I am hungrier, that's for sure, because I like to do a lot of strength training. That's like my favorite type of workout. So I think I probably need to head in. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head in, but I will check back in after my meeting and let you guys know how it went. Pray for me. I know I need to not use just the scale as my measurement of success. I did have a successful week because you know what? I didn't give up. I didn't let seeing the negative weekly points, I didn't let that be an excuse for, well, I'm just not gonna track anything and this will just be an off week. Like, I still tracked everything. And even if that meant going even further negative with my weekly points, I still tracked everything. So that is a huge success for me because typically I would just give up. Like, honestly, in the past, that's what I would do. I would mess up and then I'd be like, well, there goes that, and I would just totally give up. But that didn't happen. So I'm very proud of myself for that. I'm also feeling really well. I need to take a before picture. I haven't taken one yet, but I feel like, you know, I'm not feeling like as like inflamed and bloated, and like my clothes are starting to fit just a little bit better and I'm feeling more comfortable in my own skin. And that's just with like a tiny bit of weight lost, you know? And that just goes to show, like, when I was eating so much fast food and all that and so much sugar, like I probably felt a lot just so bloated, you know, and that's probably a huge part of the reason why I was so uncomfortable. And I'm definitely still uncomfortable. Like, I need to get this weight off, and that's, by the way, more of what this whole thing is about. It's not even about reaching a certain number on the scale. I just want to feel better. I don't feel well being 100 pounds overweight. Like, getting around is hard. Keeping up with my kids is hard. We have a 2-story house now. Going up and down the stairs is hard. Everything just feels more difficult, and I don't have as much energy as I know I should at 34 years old. So, or even like older, like heck, my 83-year-old grandma has more energy than me sometimes, I feel like. So, God bless her, she's amazing. But yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna head in, go weigh in, and then I'll check back in here in a little bit. All right, so I just got out of my meeting. It went way better than what I expected. I did get my first little charm. So I don't know if that's gonna focus, but on the back it says WW5. So I have officially lost over 5 pounds. I I was walking to my car and I was like, I'm probably gonna get emotional, but you know, I'm just gonna keep it real. But this is my weigh-in. You guys can see, so I lost 3 pounds. 3 pounds this past week. I think I just feel so emotional because I've been waiting to like get to this mental place for so long. It feels good. It feels good to be taking care of myself finally. Alright, get it together. So, I'm gonna try to pull myself together here, but there's all my weigh-ins. Hopefully it'll focus. There it goes. So yeah, when you go to your meetings, you step on the scale. I was not expecting to see a loss. I stuck with this for 2 weeks. And I know in the past, you know, I know I'm gonna have off weeks and I know it's not gonna be perfect and it's gonna be messy, and I think I've like actually like fully embraced that finally, and I'm not letting it stop me because I'm such a perfectionist. And in the past, you know, I would hold these like super high standards, and maybe I use it as an excuse, you know, or just not really truly having like the mental energy. I've opened up in the past about just the postpartum depression that I've gone through and all the anxiety. It's crippling. And I've taken such awful care of myself for the past 6 years. And I feel like I'm finally doing this because I actually give a damn about myself. Because I actually care. And it feels really good to actually care. So it's been an emotional journey. It's so much more than weight loss. It's so much more than weight loss, you guys. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. It's hard. I knew walking, because like when she gave me my charm, I had to hold back tears at that point, because this little thing means so much to me. It's way more than 5 pounds. It's so much more than 5 pounds. So anyways, I have to do some grocery shopping. I think I'm gonna do one more weigh-in before I give my like full month results. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have at least one more weigh-in. I might make the last Saturday of every month my like wellness video day, so I actually might have two more weigh-ins. We'll see. So I'll continue to keep you guys posted. I'm gonna get myself together. I have my water to drink. So I'm gonna go get groceries so that we can get prepared for the week. And yeah, then I'll check in during our next weigh-in. All right, bye guys. All right, here we are for weigh-in number 4. So I only have a couple minutes because I'm actually running a little bit late this morning. It's still really dark outside. It's almost 7 o'clock right now. So I'm feeling really good about this weigh-in. I don't know if I'll have a ton of time to talk about things that I changed this week. Now, well, yeah, I can probably for a couple minutes. So there's a couple things I did change this week. So Saturday, today, is weigh-in day. And on weigh-in day, I'm gonna make that a no track day. I got this idea from Home with Haley on YouTube. It's something that she did, and I thought that it would be a great way to kind of take a break from tracking. Now, we're gonna see how this goes. If I feel like I'm not losing or it's not working, of course I will make adjustments, but we eat out on Saturdays after church. So it kind of works out perfect because I can just not track, and I might be under my weekly points, I might be over my weekly points. I'm making sure to not go like insane and, you know, gorge myself with tons of food just because it's a no track day. But it's a good just like kind of mental break that refreshes me for the next week. Like, it felt really good. I did a no track day last Saturday and I ate normally up until dinner. We had Raising Cane's, which is like a little chicken place here after church, and it was nice not tracking for the day. And then I was able to get right back on track the next day. And so on Saturdays, what I'll do is I will zero out. I'll just put in a manual entry to zero out my whole day. And that's the only thing I'll do. And then the rest of the week, it's my goal to have blue dot days, which means that I'm sticking to my daily points. I am swapping for fit points. So if I find that, you know, I was more active that day or I'm hungrier that day, I'm trying to, you know, make sure I'm like really listening to my body and what my body needs, because I've noticed there are some days that I barely eat anything just because I'm not hungry that day. And then there's some days that I'm hungrier for whatever reason. And so I'm using the fit points as a way to go beyond my daily, like, my daily allotment of points, and it's only by a couple points, you know, and I have to earn them. So I've been going for walks more, and if I go for like a solid 20 to 30 minute walk, I usually will earn a couple fit points for that and everything. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I had blue dot days Monday or Sunday through Friday, so 6 days of the week, which was my goal. And then, yeah, so we're gonna see how that goes. I might lose a little bit more slow doing that, but I'm not, this isn't a race for me. This is about changing it to where it's a lifestyle. It's something that I can incorporate for the rest of my life. And so if that means I'm still losing, but I'm losing like more slowly, that's personally okay with me. I don't have like a huge goal of losing 100 pounds in a year. I didn't put like any sort of deadline really on it. Or if I did, I'm not doing that moving forward, because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if like that's the direction I was going for in the past. I feel like I've said maybe a couple times like, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds this year, but I'm not putting a deadline on it. I want to consistently lose, I mean, obviously, but it's not a race. It's about making this a lifestyle change that's gonna work in the long run, that I can do for the rest of my life, you know? So anyways, yeah, I just got here, so I'm gonna head in and weigh in, and then of course I will check in with you guys after weigh-in. All right, so I am out of my meeting and it went really, really well. I will share what I lost. And I love the leader of our meeting. She's just so sweet, and she's like pretty sassy too, which I appreciate. But I lost 0.2 pounds, so I've lost 8 pounds altogether, so a smaller loss this week, but I am supposed to start my period in the next like 2 days or so. Sorry if that's TMI, but it is just about that time of the month for me. So I feel like that might have a little bit to do with it because I have been feeling more bloated. And then I also know that I need to work on drinking more water. I feel like I haven't been on top of my water game as much as I normally am this past week. So that's something I'm going to work on this upcoming week. But the leader of the group, she was so funny. She, I told her, I was like, oh, I only lost, you know, 0.2 pounds. But for me, like the non-scale victory or the positive progress I've made is not letting that get me down. And then she stopped me and she's like, we don't say only, like you lost 0.2 pounds. That's, you know, almost a quarter stick of butter that you lost, or half a stick of butter or something like that. And I said only like a couple times and she was like, stop saying only. So I said I lost 0.2 pounds, which is still a loss. And it is something that I feel like I've really overcome by being realistic with my journey and everything, is just knowing that some weeks I'm gonna lose more, other weeks I'm gonna lose less, some weeks I might not lose anything at all. Our bodies kind of do their own thing. I know that, you know, I stuck to the plan as really well this week. I was proud of myself for how the week went and everything. Now I know I just started doing the whole like no track day, so I'm gonna have to kind of keep an eye on that and see how that goes. Maybe give it a try for another week or two, and then if I do find that, you know, that it's like really slowing things up for me, then I might make some adjustments. But like I said earlier, it's not a race for me. I would like to at least lose like 1 pound a week. You know, I'd be happy with 1 pound a week, but so yeah, so that's what this is all about though. And the big thing is, and she talked about this as well, her name's Linda. She's really sweet. I love her. So, but she was talking about, you know, how this is a lifestyle change that we're making. It's not something where we should be like suffering through it. You know, of course it's going to be hard. It's going to have its hard moments, but ultimately you want the plan to work for you for the rest of your life. You're learning new lifelong habits, and that's what's really important to me, because I know there's so many different diets out there, and ultimately you have to do what works well for you. Like I've tried the keto diet in the past, and you know, clean eating and things like that, and the question I asked myself, and those plans work just fine for other people, and so I'm not knocking them or anything like that, they just personally didn't work for me. But I would ask myself, is this something I can see myself doing for the rest of my life? And if the answer was no, then yeah, I couldn't really stick with that. And the same goes for the way I was eating prior to being to starting WW about 4 weeks ago. You know, I was eating a lot of fast food, drinking a lot of soda, and having a lot of sugar. And I asked myself, Steph, can you eat this way for the rest of your life? And the answer was definitely no. I would have had a ton of health issues, and I wouldn't have been able to keep up with my kids. I probably would have continued to gain weight, and just I wouldn't feel good. So I'm kind of finding my balance, finding my in-between. And I personally, you know, right now I'm okay with like artificial sweeteners and some processed things, and that's fine. Like for me personally, I know some people, you know, you get the food police out and they're like, oh no, that's awful, and that's fine for you. For me personally right now, I'm drinking diet soda. I'm having like those little Fiber One brownie treats and things like that that are more processed, but that are helping me kind of get this process started. And later on down the road, maybe I'll clean up my diet a little bit more, but right now that is all helping me stick to the plan, so that's what I'm doing. My mindset has changed immensely, you guys, since starting this. It's changed so much, which is huge. Like normally if I had lost 0.2 pounds, I probably would have quit. I probably would have been like, why am I doing this? But I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, you know, I did eat late last night too. That's something I need to work on as well, is not eating dinner so late. I get really busy throughout the day and I end up eating lunch too late, and so that leads to me eating dinner pretty late. So there was that, and then not drinking a ton of water, and then, you know, starting my menstrual cycle in a couple days as well. And again, sorry if this is all TMI, but like, yeah, so that's pretty much what is going on. But I'm gonna get ready to go to the grocery store. I'll have one more weigh-in for this monthly wellness check-in, and I'm excited to share this video with you guys. I'm excited to edit everything and like look back on it all from like beginning to end. One thing I am debating doing is including my before picture in my monthly wellness check-ins, and then I also need to start taking measurements. That's one thing that she talked about too, is like, well, do you measure yourself? And I was like, no, I haven't measured myself. So that's something that that I need to do too, is do that, because I have noticed my clothes are fitting much more comfortably than they were before. And so I'm sure I am losing inches, and I just don't know it because I haven't been tracking my measurements. So that's something that I'm going to start doing as well. So that is it for this week. I will check in with you guys next week for the last weigh-in of January, and then you guys will see this whole compilation of check-ins. So I hope that you're enjoying them, and I will see you next week. Real quick, I just realized I wanted to show you guys how I zero out my points. So after my meeting, as you can see, I have 20 daily points remaining and 42 weekly points remaining. And so this is what I do. I track all meals just to get my like streaks and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick ad, and then I'll do treat day, because today's gonna be a no track day. And I'll do like 20 points here. And then I'll do a quick ad of treat day and do 22 points. Do that for lunch. And then I'll do another quick ad for treat day, and I'll do 20 points for dinner. So when I am done doing that, as you will see, I'm completely zeroed out for Saturday. So that way I can start tomorrow just with 20 points. I'm currently getting 20 points per day. And then, like I said, I'll use my fit points to add to that as needed and things like that. So I have to kind of like earn those extra points. But in general, I don't really find it difficult to stick to 20 points a day. So I just wanted to show you guys how I did that real quick, because I know I mentioned it earlier. But yeah, so that is now officially it for this weekly check-in. Good morning, guys. So it is officially the last weigh-in of January. So you guys will be seeing this video tomorrow, or no, 2 days from now, because I'm probably not gonna have time to, well, maybe. We'll have to see. I would love to get it up like today, but no, that's probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna be running some errands with my friend after this, so yeah, it'll probably be up tomorrow, on Sunday. But anyways, so I am here. Sorry again for the lighting. I feel like I have to apologize for that every time, but like it's 6:45-ish right now. My meeting's at 7, and it's just still pitch black outside. So as far as how this past week went, honestly, this was the first week that I was on Shark Week, if you will, and it was kind of rough. I didn't really realize like how hungry I would be while it was like that time of the month for me. So that threw me off a little bit, but I did like cheat a little bit, I guess you could say. And I weighed myself with minimal clothes on this morning, and I weighed 244.1 pounds. So now I have clothes on. And so if that's the case, if I've lost, if I weighed, what am I trying to say? It's still really early. If I weigh 244 pounds, then yeah, I've lost 4 pounds this past week. Their scale is gonna say something different, obviously, because, well, first of all, it's a different scale. Although the one I have at home is technically the WW scale, but it's pretty old, so I don't know how accurate it is. But now I have, you know, clothes on, so obviously their scale is gonna be different. But either way, I should have lost this week, which is exciting. We will see exactly how much I weigh. I don't plug in my weigh-ins at home, I just plug in these weigh-ins. So, but yeah, like I was saying, I was thrown off a little this week by Shark Week, but I did track everything still. I tracked everything, even if it meant going negative into the weekly, and I didn't let that negative into the weekly like trip me up at all. I just woke up the next day, kind of didn't even pay attention to it, tried to do my best, and I would say 3 of the 4 days were a larger struggle than the other days, but the rest of the time I was like on track and doing fine. So that'll be interesting to navigate in the future. I'm just gonna need to make sure that I have a good meal plan, probably just something that, like, for example, I would wake up one morning and I would have toast with eggs and fruit, and that would be my breakfast. And for some reason, whenever I have bread or toast or whatever, same thing, I get hungry pretty quickly after. It doesn't really fill me up very long. Whereas if I have a big old like veggie scramble in the morning, or I have oatmeal, those 2 meals will keep me full. So we ran out of oatmeal this week. We're gonna get some more today. We're going to go to Costco. We get the Coach's oats. They're really, really good. So we were out of that, and then the veggie scramble, just, it takes longer to make if you don't have things prepped in advance. Whereas like creating the toast and all of that doesn't take as long, because with my veggie scrambles, I like to put hash browns in them. And the hash browns that's what takes the longest, because you have to, we get the kind in the little carton, and you have to put hot water in there, you have to let it sit for 12 minutes and then cook it, and I like mine super, super crispy and very well done, and so that just takes a while. And so I'd be in these situations where I was like, well, I don't really have time for that, so I'm just gonna make toast. And I just need to plan ahead a little bit better. And now I know, going through this week, now I know what I can do to sort of plan for that time and all that. So I am here early. I'm just going to finish watching. It's so funny, I have to watch all my YouTube videos in like little chunks most of the time. So I started watching Sarah Marie on YouTube. I watched her plan with me yesterday. I watched part of it, and now I'm watching the rest of it. So I'm probably just gonna watch that, because I've got like 15 minutes before I have to head in, or like 10 minutes. And then yeah, so I'll of course check in after, let you guys know what my weigh-in it was and what my total loss was for the month. It's definitely not completely accurate considering I'm wearing clothes, but like I said, I like to go to the meetings and I count the meeting weigh-ins, because it's more accountability. I love the leader of this meeting. Like, she is so sweet. Her name is Linda, and there's a lot of ladies in this group that I've really clicked with too. And so it's just cool being a part of that. That's kind of the component that was missing for online. So, and nonetheless, I've stuck with this now, you guys, for an entire month. That is the longest I have ever stuck with anything remotely related to like weight loss, dieting, all that kind of stuff. That's the longest I've ever gone. So that by itself is an accomplishment. And despite the hiccups, despite the smaller weight loss of last week, if you guys saw that, I haven't let any of it discourage me. I've given myself lots of grace and given myself that time to learn. And yeah, and I've ditched the whole perfectionism mentality. So but yeah, so I'm gonna just finish watching this video, and then I will check in with you guys after I weigh in here in just a little bit. Okay, so I am out of my meeting, and I will share my weekly results with you guys and the overall month and how that went. So let me pull up my weight. All right, so hopefully it'll focus and you guys can see, but I have officially lost 11.2 pounds, right? Yeah, so 3.2 this past week, and like I said earlier, that was with clothes on too, so that's pretty amazing. So 11.2 pounds for my first month on WW. I also received this charm, which I'll be adding to my other one, so the 10-pound milestone. You guys, I am just absolutely amazed that I have made it this far and that I'm getting these results. Like, it just goes to show, and I remember getting so frustrated when I'd hear this before, like, it's all about mindset, it's all about mindset, but it's so true. Like, I just, for whatever reason, was not ready before, and now I am, and I'm not letting anything stop me. I'm very determined to get all this weight off. I think I talked about this a little bit before, but before I started having kids, I was actually very active. I worked out all the time. I was in great shape, and I want to get back there. I want to be able to chase after the girls and be more active and just feel better, be more confident, you know. So yeah, we're getting there. I can't believe these results. Like, I'm so happy. And this past week, you know, I said earlier, like, I did struggle because it was Shark Week or whatever. So I'm still doing the whole no track Saturday. So I did that last week. I'm going to continue doing that because apparently it's working. If I start to, you know, struggle a little bit or anything like that, I might tweak that. But for now, I think it's a really nice break. And I know it deviates from the program. Some people are like very strict. They just stick to the program. Other people do their own thing. For me, this works. So, and let me just kind of, I don't know if I've explained in previous clips or not, but basically what I'm doing is I don't track anything on Saturday. That's the day that our family eats out after church. So, so I don't track anything at all today. Today's weigh-in day and Saturday. And then I zero out all of my weekly points so that that is all at 0. And then I have swapping turned on for fit points so that if I end up wanting a couple extra points in a day, I have to work for it, literally. So I have to make sure I'm getting enough steps and all that kind of stuff. So that's the way I've been doing it. Last week I definitely went negative into my weeklies. I wasn't as active as I should have been and all of that, but I'm still getting results. I know that that's not always going to be the case. I know that I'm at the very beginning of this journey, and as I lose more and more weight, it's going to get probably more difficult to, you know, have these like larger losses. But yeah, so anyways guys, that is it for this monthly check-in, wellness check-in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If there's something more you want me to share or anything like that, I thought it would be just fun to kind of film every weigh-in, but I could also just do like the last weigh-in of the month. So let me know what you think, if you like me filming each weigh-in or if you'd rather just see like the final one. Just let me know. But other than that, that is it. And if you're wondering what I eat in a day, by the way, if you're new to my channel, I do share what I eat in a day on Weight Watchers WW in my day in the life videos. So those go up every Tuesday. Definitely check them out if you are interested. And I will chat with y'all later. Bye.